Listen, one thing that I underestimate is I was a true businessman from the age of 6 years old. It's all I did. I sold, I bought, I traded, I made signs. By the fucking time I even went into my dad's store, I fucking wish I was making content at 14. When I tell you that the videos of my audacity of what I was gonna do in my dad's liquor store, like the level of shitting on my dad, and it wasn't shitting on my dad, but like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. As a 14-year-old, and then now, being able to look at it 30 years later, I was right. They weren't guesses. And then I say to myself, my God, I learned natural talent, DNA, right? And I learned a lot from 6 to 14. Who the fuck's even doing that?
Right.
People are going to, people don't learn until they're like 22 is their first day.
But how do you even teach that? See, like you said yourself, you had a natural gift, a natural talent.
You can only get people, I can be a much better singer, but I'm not gonna be, Rihanna. So you can teach it, but yes, talent is part of the equation.
It is. And people, how much do you think is work ethic and discipline versus just pure talent?
I think work ethic and discipline is 51% of the equation, and that talent's 49. I just see too much talent wasted daily. Mm-hmm. You have to do.
Right.
This is something I've been talking a lot about, like
do it.
You have to practice. You have to like watching athletes, especially, it's very obvious. They're two people and one's so much more talent. It's not even close.
Right.
But they're jerking off.
Right.
They're not putting in the work, and slowly but surely, the tortoise
catches up
and passes the hare, because where why is less about actually the physical talent. It's all the stuff they're doing off the field. It's all the mentality stuff that actually undermines their whole career.
Right. You think that the mentality? I thought that actually helps their whole career. Is the mental? Is their mental strength, their mental discipline to work it?
It's the better athlete. It's the better entrepreneur. It's the better executive at skill.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That their mindset of like work ethic and just like mindset. undermines them, and they lose.
Speaking of mind, what do you think of these masterminds that all these people on social media are just they're charging $100,000, $50,000.
It's not my favorite model.
Right, and then they're taking a lot of people who are putting all their money and investment into these masterminds.
I've been a very historic, listen, I could tomorrow start a mastermind and probably make $100 million.
Oh, yeah,
I really believe that.
That's how you can make all the money that you think you're losing or leaving on the table.
It's not my favorite model because I don't think I just think there's honestly, it's just supply and demand. It's no different than what I talked about video creators. I believe there's too much good information for free on the internet.
Google.
Listen, I'll be honest with you, it's a very big agenda of mine to not force people to buy into bad masterminds. Impact is very simple, and this is why I think I can be the greatest entrepreneur of this generation. I don't think anybody wants to give more than me.
Well, that's the thing. That was my next thing.
I'm not playing for money as much as my contemporaries. I'm playing for legacy and admiration. My North Star is admiration and legacy. And trying to buy the New York Jets. That's it's a very important kind of like sentence, because I really don't give a fuck if I buy the Jets. I just like playing so much that the game of trying to is fun as shit.
Right, so that's your goal. That's the goal.
That's like a business goal. I'd really like that to happen.
But besides the style, then what do you think that's one quality about you that has that type of influence and impact?
My intent is to give.
So that's where you're starting from a different place.
Do you know how stupid this 30 minutes is for me right now?
Probably very.
Yes. I have nothing else to say.
Yeah.
My actions do not map anything like the other people that are looking like me.
Yeah.
There's nothing similar to me than my contemporaries. I'm actually giving back continuously, at scale, vigorously, and they're not.
Right.
There's not a single entrepreneur of top 1,000 fame that is grossly giving back.
Right. Like, how many times do you do things like this?
A lot. And every time I feel a level of anxiety because I'm like, fuck, I have a lot of shit to do.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well.
I feel great right now, but I mean this. This is a very transparent conversation.
Yeah, you feel anxious.
Elon and Sarah Blakely and fucking Mark Cuban and fucking Barbara Cochran, they're not doing this. They're picking the thing. They're doing Joe Rogan because you're getting fucking trillion eyeballs.
Right. So that's why, like, I saw this thing about Taylor Swift. You said she hacked culture. But
with Taylor, what the difference between Taylor and I is I talk about it in a business format, and she was doing it for self-interest because she knew it would get her more awareness. I don't know her to know how much of that she loved. Like, does she love popping up at a wedding out of nowhere and doing the song? Or was she, because every time the media knew, so she was manipulating in a good way.
Like, she's very strategic.
She's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know what, I'm gonna take back manipulating because I don't think it's a good word. She was strategic about it, and everybody won. Great that she got picked up by every magazine. You know what else was great? The 103 people at that wedding at the Jersey Shore that lost their fucking mind. It was amazing.
Absolutely.
Where I'm starting to realize with me is like, oh right, I don't have anywhere close to as much money as I could, and that's because I actually don't value that part.
Right.
And that's where I always have to really know somebody to know where they sit on the curve of only about the money, not about money at all, or somewhere in between like me. I just used to think I was 50-50. I'm starting to realize maybe I'm even 20 to the like,
right, yeah,
you know, like I'm not,
yeah.
And honestly, I think that could change. There is a concern in my own mind that somewhere in my 70s or 60s, I may get resentful that I gave so much and I didn't get mine, that I may change my behavior. I'm hoping not, but I'm being really transparent here. It runs through my mind. I'm leaving an uncomfortable amount of money on the table my whole life. I built a business for my dad and left with nothing. I started with a company with my brother and gave him 50-50. He left early on, and I bought him out. I don't have anywhere close to the wealth that I could, and then I don't monetize my audience the way everybody else does. Like I continue, I'm building a machine, not for the business, for the long term. So right now, like if you're a really thoughtful money person, you shit on me if you knew everything about me. I just think it actually works out.
I see that when you said that, I didn't even realize that about you. See, I thought that you would be a master at monetizing. I mean, not these 25 minutes, but
I think I am. I just think I'm losing 31-0 in the first quarter.
But it's a long game, right?
It is.
I mean,
this is it.
You're young still.
I believe that to be true.
Now, were you always like a forward thinker?
Yes.
Like I'm thinking because you predict things. Like I saw on a bunch of things I watched about you on like Larry King, God knows how many years ago that was. You predicted things that actually do happen. Like you were just, but seriously, a lot of people that doesn't happen.
You know, it's funny. I see patterns much earlier than most, and I'm willing to have conviction to say it out loud, and I understand human beings, and so I understand what they're gonna do. I'm not worried about fear. I'm going through one right now on LinkedIn. I have a thing that is a program to join our team, and I want you to make stuff to join the team. Here comes the elitist creative community saying, fuck you, Garyvee, spec work, you're better than this. You're making you should pay people, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't believe that. I do shit for free all the time.
Like this.
I speak for free, even though I get paid $150,000 because I strategically believe that attention in that audience was worth it for me. This is America. I'm not imposing people to make me free videos. I pay plenty of people to make. It's not that that's my only thesis. I just want to grow a little bit and hedge my bet. We've picked a lot of wrong people. I'd like to see people make something for me. I don't feel that it's exploitation.
It's not.
Nobody's requiring them to. If they are so great and get paid, they don't need to. But for a lot of us, we're not as entitled as those people that are casting judgment and had mommy and daddy's money to go to the right school and things of that nature, and you need to kick your fucking foot through the door, and the way you do that is by fucking doing stuff for free.
Absolutely.
You like that one?
No, but it's true though.
It is true, and I'm sorry we're hurting your market value, but this is called supply and demand.
And I'm sure you get offers probably by the 1,000 a day for people to work for you for free.
Thousands.
Thousands, I'm sure. I mean.
Thousands.
And even that's a competitive market, right?
I'll be honest with you. I think people that are mad that there's spec work going on now are gonna be really mad in a decade when people pay people to work for them. Wait till that can opens. Wait till people understand what's really going on. It's just supply and demand.
It is supply and demand.
It scares the fuck out of me that I could have an entire team Gary in 20 years, I'm predicting, that is paying me to be there. Whether I can get there emotionally, that is already the next step. You know, I'm able to do, I believe in show me your work. Others clearly with the comments said no. The next one's an interesting one, but I think it's gonna happen. Whether I decide to do that or not, I don't know. I lean towards no as I sit here today. My POV may evolve. It's a much better use of money than going to art school.